We want to show something belongs to our culture, and Madonna in a fur coat is the best choice to introduce Turkish literature to you. Firstly, I want to talk about Sabahat Neli. He was born in 1907. He was so silent and thoughtful in his childhood, and interested in literature since his younghood. He was 36 years old when he wrote Madonna in a Fur Coat. When it was first published in 1943, it made no impression, but for the past 3 years, it has topped the bestseller list in Turkey. It read, loved, and wept over by men and women of all ages, but most of all by young adults.
1943 Ankara. Narrator was looking around to see. He had almost no money. While he was looking for a job, he came across with his old friend Hamdi. Hamdi found a job for him. He started to work. At his first day, he met with his colleague Raif. According to the narrator, Raif was the weirdest person he ever knew. He looked so ordinary, shy and silent, but the narrator believes there was something different at the darkest places in his soul. One day, Raif got sick and the narrator visited him. He met with Raif's family. The things happened in this house was so cruel for Raif. They were so crowded, and everybody in this house was so rude, thoughtless to him. Narrator walked to his lodging while he was thinking about Raif. After a while, Raif got sick again and his illness was more serious this time. Narrator visited him again. Raif was looking so badly. He knew he couldn't go back to work, and he asked the narrator to bring the things from his desk drawer. Narrator brought what he wants. A notebook among these things caught his attention. He asked Raif to read this notebook. He didn't let him read at first, but narrator convinced him. He left, and when he arrived to his lodging, he started to read. Raif's story was like that. At my young age, my father decided to send me to Germany. He wanted me to learn how to do soap, come back to Turkey and set up a factory. Open this, I went to Berlin. I started to work at the soap factory. Also, I was going everywhere I could go. I saw every museums, exhibitions and parks. At one exhibition, I saw a self-portrait painting. There was a woman in a fur coat. It was the most impressive painting that I ever seen. I felt like I knew her from somewhere, but I didn't know even her name. I saw a catalog at that time. I looked up painting's name was Madonna in a fur coat, and artist's name was Maria Puder. The painting became the only thing that I can think. I went and just looked at painting every day. While days were passing like that, at one night I saw a woman which I saw at the painting. Next night I found myself at the same place that I saw her. I looked around for a while. I saw her again. She was walking. I hid and followed her. She entered a tavern called the Atlantic. I entered to behind her back. She was singing and playing violin. After the music finished, she sat to my table. We talked for a while. We left around the tavern and walked together. We decided to meet next day. We were spending our days together anymore and became so close.
But one day, she got sick so badly and she was taken to the hospital. She stayed there nearly 30 days. After she came back to house, I took a letter from Turkey. My family told me my father was dead. I had to go back to Turkey, and I told this to Maria, and she said she wants to go to Prague. She left Berlin before me. After I went back to Turkey, we sent letters to each other, but after a while, my letters stayed unanswered. I thought that she forgot me, but I learned the reality 10 years later. This morning, I came across to my friend from Berlin, Frau Döpke. She was together with a little girl. Frau Döpke was the relative of Maria, so I could ask about her. We talked for a while, and I asked Maria with all my courage. She said Maria was dead 10 years ago while she was giving birth, and showed the girl. I was shocked. I understood who was the girl. Frau Döpke and my daughter went quickly to Don't Miss the Train, and finally I stayed alone. The story ends like that. If I was Raif, I would not go back to Turkey when my father died. I would stay with Maria and take care of her. If Raif did the same, maybe her daughter would have known her father and they could live together.
If I was Raif, I would say my feelings clearly to Maria. For example, I would tell to Maria I love her very much. If I was Maria, I would tell Raif early on that I was pregnant.
Dekolte bir kıyafet giymiş genç kadın keman çalarak sahneye geldi. Derhal tanıdım. Bütün tereddütlerim, bin bir türlü manasız tahminlerim bir anda uçup gitti. Yapmakta olduğu işi asla istemediği meydandaydı. Keman çalışında hiçbir fevkaladelik yoktu. Ona nasıl bakacağımı, ne yapacağımı bilmiyordum. Sonra bu halime güldü. Dün gece yarısı karanlıkta gördüğü birini tanımasına imkan var mı? Bakışlarımız karşılaşınca gözleriyle beni dostça selamladı. Açık, temiz, yalansız bir gülüşle güldü. Eski bir dosta güler gibi güldü.
Bravo! Bravo!
Yenildin mi? Zor mu geldi? Umuduna ne oldu? Yoruldun mu? Boyun eğdin? O ateşin neden söndü? Aşk dediğin kolay değil, ruhun kabuk bağlarken. Öyle bir cennet mümkün değil, sen gölgene sığınırken. Omzumuzdan meleklerle uçacaktık biz. İnanmıştım ben sana, yakacak